The big yellow school bus puts millions of children on the road to an education. It all started in the 19th century with horse-drawn trucks known as kid hacks. The word hack was short for hackney carriage. In the 20th century, they were motorized and became known as school buses. Every school day, children across North America wait for the school bus. Appearance-wise, it's hard to miss. Big and yellow, it is deliberately conspicuous, designed to stand out in traffic so other drivers slow down and take notice. Manufacturing starts with a support structure, the steel underframe. They arrange several short rails down the top of two long frame rails. These cross rails will link the long rails and provide strategic support. Using a lift, they raise the long rails and the cross rails slide into position just under the rims of the long ones. Now, in a fixture that pins the rails together, workers bolt them together. With the school bus underframe assembled, they roll in two enormous wheel axles complete with brakes. Overhead cables lift the bus frame and workers guide it into place on the axles. They attach the axles to the frame with metal brackets, shackles, and spacers where needed. The chassis is ready for the engine. They lower it onto the front of the frame and secure it with bolts. The school bus engine packs a lot of power. It's diesel-fueled with 6 cylinders. Next up is the front cowl assembly, which includes the instrument panel and steering column. A worker wires the steering wheel to the controls in the column and slides it into place. They mount the tires and rims, 4 on the back axle to handle the heavier passenger load and 2 on the front. Using a multi-prong tool, the worker tightens numerous nuts to fasten the wheels to the axles. They now encase the engine with a fiberglass hood. The hood has been pre-painted and equipped with cross-view mirrors and headlights. They bolt it to the vehicle frame, and after adding antifreeze and coolant, the bus is technically drivable. They roll it over to a test station to check the brakes. The wheels turn on rollers, so the bus runs in one spot. A computer monitors the performance of both the front and back brakes as a driver applies them. They now move on to build the school bus body. The body starts with the floor. They unwind double-sided galvanized steel into a machine that slices it into panels. It also cuts holes to be used for assembly. A forming machine folds the sides to create support beams. 2 more steel beams will really stiffen the floor panel. A worker positions those beams on the panel, and an automated machine welds them to it. It feeds the floor panel to the welder incrementally, so it can spot weld down the length of the beams. It takes dozens of welds to solidly secure the steel supports. And with those reinforcements, the floor panel is complete. It's ready for assembly. Workers arrange several panels upside down in a precise configuration. Then it's into a second automated welder that joins them to make one school bus floor. After manually welding pockets for wheels, a machine called the floor flip picks up the bus floor and turns it right side up. They're now ready to build the passenger compartment, so stay tuned. A A school bus transports precious cargo, children. To hold the average bus together, they use an incredible 6,100 rivets, bolts, and screws, and make a total of 840 welds. For the maker of school buses, there's strength in those numbers. To build the frame for the school bus walls and ceiling, they bend steel beams into bow shapes. A hydraulic machine with pushers does the job in seconds, achieving an exact radius. The bows will serve as ribs for the school bus body. They make several bows for each bus. The precise number depends on the bus size and capacity. Workers plug the ends of the bows into holes in steel rails and secure them with bolts. They weld lateral supports higher up, and the cage-like skeleton of the school bus takes shape. They're now ready to build on this framework. They attach the metal windshield surround. The team then moves the steel side sheets and skirting into place. They secure these panels with super strong adhesive and numerous rivets. Using cables and nylon straps, they pull steel sheets to the roof structure to make them conform to the contours. The steel is 20 gauge, a grade that's flexible enough to be easily bent. The cables hold the steel panels tightly to the roof structure while the workers rivet them to it. The number of rivets and the strength of the joints are among many government safety standards the school bus must meet. Working from the inside, they glue fiberglass insulation into the pockets of the cage to keep the bus warm in winter and cool in summer. The insulation will also muffle road noise and absorb some of the student chatter for a quieter ride. The team installs steel panels on the ceiling. These panels have tiny perforations to allow sound to escape into the insulation. They tape up the windows and doors and sand some areas as they now prepare to paint the exterior of the bus. The paint, National Bus Yellow, takes the metal from dull to bold. This shade was developed specifically for school buses and can be noticed even with peripheral vision. With the paint now dry, they open the doors and lay a plywood subfloor inside. It too will absorb noise. An employee drives the chassis over to the school bus body production line and parks it. Using cables, they lift the bus body over to the chassis. At over 3.5 tons, it's hefty. They gently lower it onto the frame rails and mate the front to the hood. They tie the body to the frame with heavy-duty clips. They arrange the seating to surround the passengers with cushioning. This creates compartments around the occupants to protect them in a collision. Outside, a worker applies school bus lettering. Another worker presses an adhesive-backed manufacturer's emblem to the hood. They equip the bus with the flashing lights and stop signs to get the attention of other drivers when children are loading and unloading. They also install a crossing gate to keep children within the bus driver's sight line. They test all of the warning lights and safety devices. And satisfied that everything is operational, the bus rolls off the production line. It's taken a day and a half to build it. And when it comes to an education, it's ready to deliver.